Hello, hello, hello! Guess today's theme. Hint. We are gonna use the general theme of a teapot to look at your general energies. Just a little bit. Your general energies for the first week of January. I do like to use a semblance of a structure, because that's just how I am. But rest assured, the energy that needs to pop in will pop in, regardless of what position or how I lay my cards on the table. It's just that for me, I like to have a structure. As always, we're gonna have the Barbiery Zodiac in the middle. Main deck today, I received this just before New Year from Temu. The Mystic Gypsy Tarot. It's beautiful. I'm really excited to be using this. Secondary clarifying deck will be the Gourmet Tarot. Main oracle will be the Unspoken Truth, and potentially the second one, Deep Dive oracle cards. This might be more emotionally themed. We will see. We will see how things will roll. It's basically inspired by this super cute graphic that I found on Pinterest. I will try to include it here. And that's the source of my inspiration for this Stirring the Teacup energy check-in for January, the first week of January 2026. Let's see how things are shaking up for you guys. And I will zoom in for you to have a snapshot opportunity at the cards of today. Here we go. And I will see you in 2 seconds. Hello, 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 Aries. How are you guys doing? My name is Emmy. I'm your self-appointed tarot therapist, and today we're gonna use a spread inspired by a Pinterest image that I found about a beautiful teacup. We're gonna dive into emotional, energetic check-in for you guys. Let's see how things are stirring or not. Okay, so right off the bat, you feel on your own, you feel abandoned and going into inner quietude to ponder things, but are you ready to take charge and step out of it? I understand that it's following a Three of Swords, Heartbreak energy. Let me just move this a little upper. And so after this, you needed time to recharge and heal. Completely normal. But it's now time to step up your game and step out of this solitude, recluse, confinement energy. Grab the bull by the horns and take charge. Don't let fear and uncertainty have the better hold of you. Don't let doubts keep you in this hermit energy. If you can reach out, reach out. If you need a little bit more time, take it, but do not linger uselessly in this self-isolated energy. Is this in regards to a Queen of Swords, aka someone very intellectual, cold, very snappy, she doesn't take no bullshit? Or do you yourself need to be a little bit more inquisitive after you have retreated into yourself to really put 2 and 2 together, see how your boundaries are, see how you're internalizing and intellectualizing events caused by that Three of Swords and how you can better take charge with the Emperor moving forward, stepping out of your isolation and confronting the hurt. So I'm gonna poker shuffle and let's dive into it. And as I separate the deck, we have again the Emperor. Major theme for you guys to step in your power and take charge with gentle, kind patience, serenity. Do not rush things. Sit down, ponder things, analyze things. Do not act just out of brute force, really. But don't be too cold either. Going back to that Queen of Swords. You could be on your path to a Ten of Cups if you do come out and if you do communicate, but be advised of which words you use, how you express yourself. And if you step out of this hidden, secretive, fear-mongering energy, there could be a new financial opportunity on the horizon for you guys. But you need to leave your doubts at the door or in the proverbial cavern of the hermit. You can go back, shed a light on them at a later time, but now it's a call for action. You need to be determined, you need to be strategic, you need to have a plan and execute the plan. Two of Cups. This is definitely in regards to someone who you love, someone who loves you equally back, potentially a soulmate tie or some romantic, well, it can be romantic, can be platonic, it can be like your father, your child, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your aunt. Point being, you love them as much as they love you, but something happened that caused a rift between you two, and now the ball is literally in your hands to get out of this Five of Pentacles energy, to move into safe, quiet, peaceful. It's serene, but it's also a sense of having something lush on the other side of this path from the Six of Swords. So you're moving out of being poor, miserable, and not having a dime to your name to this beautiful, lush land where you can have land, house, property, commerce, whatever is you fancy that you can depend upon. As I say that, we have the sun, literally the most beautiful, happy, I mean, look at her. She's like living her best life, riding that horse, not a worry, not a single thing can touch her. And you can have that if you step out and take charge. Step out of your reclusive energy, communicate, and take charge. So yeah, you need to juggle the King of Wands, action-oriented, charismatic energy. We have the Two of Pentacles. So juggle the King of Wands and the King of Cups, who is emotionally mature, emotionally capable, very giving, very nurturing, very understanding, but also wise and mature. So the King of Cups can literally, if balanced properly, can sort of tone down and direct the high fire energy of the King of Wands, who is just out there conquering world like it's nobody's business. But you want to conquer with meaning, with depth, with intent. And so you need to balance these energies to have a fruitful, successful, long-term outcome of whatever this thing is for you guys. It's good to be passionate and to be action-driven and to be motivated, but you need to temper that fire just a little bit so that it has a direction and it's not a wildfire ravaging everything, and so that you are not wasting and diluting the power of that fire as you go willy-nilly opening 10 enterprises or hatching 10 plans to go forth and conquer. You need just to slow down a little bit and dive deep into yourself to see how you can best manage that fire to have depth and meaning, so that the message that you are giving out has potency and will bring in the results, the best results that you might be expecting or desire. And I really love this. Like, I know I'm aware that I'm channeling whatever I just said, but I really love the way this deck is like having this other sort of energy to me as I speak. Also, I feel a little calmer. I am trying to have a more moderate, slow-paced conversation voice on my reads, and not like a hasty wanting to get rid of or just get, you know, like, because I was a little stressed in the past, I realized that I may speak a little fast, so I am trying to actively slow it down and be more measured in my speech. So then, the teacup, the dish, the cup. Okay, wait, I need to lower this just a little bit. The handle, the rim. Are we in sight? Or actually, wait. Yep, like that. The rim and the teaspoon. And so now we're gonna use the bottom of the deck, and surprise, surprise, we have the Hermit again. So you're definitely in very much isolated, very much introspective energy at this time. The dish, the cup, something has ended. The handle, so you're back at being a single like a Pringle and thriving. The rim, King of Wands, again that beautiful taking charge energy, very fiery, bold, passionate, charismatic. And the teaspoon, Knight of Cups, again water to balance out that fire. So you really need to hone in your emotionality. And I know it could be difficult for an Aries, especially since you are so action oriented and very just jumping into action, to take just a little breather and consider consequences, and consider actions, consider meanings, especially try to go a little deeper than the shallow first layer of the water, or the shallow first layer of actions. It's like you are jumping into this thing based off the little knowledge that you have, but it would serve you much greater impact if you take a time to calm down, ground yourself, and go a little deeper, allowing your emotions to maybe put yourself in the shoes of whoever or whatever situation is involved here for you, so that you are not just recklessly ego-driven in the actions that you are partaking in to get rid of this task because you have 10,000 other things on your to-do list. And the light is a little on the Hermit card, but we will work with it. So, the dish, what supports you? Which your own reclusive energy, your inner wisdom. And we have the Three of Swords again. So you have definitely have been hurt, and it's still heavily lingering on your heart, to the point that, like, I mean, look at how this old lady is looking. Look at her expression. Focus in on that. It's like a sense of sullen hurt and hope at the same time. which understandable. I mean, a heartbreak is always tragically consequential. It has tragic consequences. It's really heavy, and trust me, I'm an expert in that field. It hurts like a motherfucker. And so we tend to retreat into ourselves as human beings, most of us, to like tackle that pain in a reclusive solitude, to ponder all the questions in regards of what has happened and why is the outcome so dire and so painful and just so intense in some instances. The Three of Swords can be on the very light side, just very minor disappointment. Like for instance, once I had to go to this clinic that offered affordable price tax filing, and I went on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that service or that community office was closed for taxes on that day. Had I known, because I think I remember I had the Three of Swords either before or after. Anyway, had I pulled my cards before, maybe I wouldn't have gone, because we're like, okay, if I have a Three of Swords, it's not going to work out, so maybe try another day. But I didn't. That was a minor disappointment. On the ultimate opposite end, if someone that you're interested in picks somebody else over you without even considering you, it can be absolutely soul-shattering pain, which I also felt once or twice. So, depending on the spectrum and where you are at with this Three of Swords, your time in hermit mode will greatly and vastly depend on the intensity of the hurt that you are still experiencing, that is still energetically very present in your fields at this time. And depending on this intensity, you want to consider how deep you are going into hermit mode, how far you want to sit down and chat with yourself about the pain, the cause, the outcome, the outside factors, what has driven you to this roadblock in your life. Depending on the severity of the pain, you might want to consider maybe looking for guidance or just have a deeper layered introspection into the situation. Let's see. I'm good with time. Let's see if we can have something else for this. That's a bit too much. And you know what? I think the Van Gogh would be more fitting than the Gourmet Tarot. Yes, Papuch, yes. My dogs are here with me under the table. So meet Slippers. Her name is Papuch, which means slippers in Hungarian. And so yeah, I'm gonna update obviously the description box to swap out Gourmet for Van Gogh. So something called this Three of Swords for Aries. Ah, see? When the energy wants, the energy will. Nine of Swords. It's putting you in a lot of stress, potentially impeding your sleep, and that is why it's very much needed, asked, required, pleaded of you to take a halt, even if it's against your nature, to really just analyze and ponder and go deep into yourself, to shed the light on the events that led you to this space, so that you can properly heal and move on without having this pain attached to you and slowing you down, and without you dragging it literally like a demon or things that are useless, but for the uninformed people, they just carry the wounding, the scarring, the trauma, and they go dash into the next one without addressing the prior situations, and they collect more and more and more. So really, please address this. Try to give yourself time. Give yourself, I had the word on my tongue, space, but also grace to address the pain and the sorrow and the stress, so that you can, by naming each sword, giving them their name, you give back that power onto yourself, and so you are more in the clear proceeding forward, because you have none of those things locking you in and weighing you down. So this was sadly what supports you, which at the moment you're literally the ground on which you are standing is pain and reclusion to handle and deal and manage said pain. The cup, what fills you, which here it's already better a little bit, since we have the world, which is synthesizing a big lesson, moving on, graduating, and just look at how freely she dances. She's happy, she's overcome her struggles, her problem, but it comes at a cost of stress and burden. So what currently fills you is still a sense of being overburdened and being overstressed. But then, and since this is the cup and the cup is literally resting on the dish, it's directly influenced by this heartbreak and this stress that you are still carrying heavily in your energetic field. So whatever has ended has the potential of having a new door being opened for you and start over. But the same way, as I said, that you need to drop those 9 of swords, you need to drop those 10 of wands. Go back to a 1 or 2. It's excess heavy load on your shoulders. You are burning the candle by both edges, and it serves nobody. If anything, it can fasten, like speed up another major ending in your life. And so you might want to just like rest a little bit. Don't push your luck, and don't invite King of Wands. Be a little bit more discerning in the stresses that you allow into your life, and don't invite useless burden and useless stress to come and weigh you down. Alternatively, if you can end this 10 of Wands, because 10 is usually the end of a cycle, if you can move into action with the King of Wands to literally end this cycle with the world, that would be beneficial, and that would allow a new door to open, literally emptying your first cup, cleaning it up, and allowing yourself a brand new cup with something else. So like a new fruity tea, or new green tea, matcha, whatever, coffee if you're into that. You are closing a massive chapter that has been stressful and overburdening, taking action to close it and to heal. Never forget the Hermit and the 3 of Swords, to heal from that, so that you can offer your cup to the universe to be refilled with something satisfying and something beneficial for you, something that will feel good and that will make you feel light and happy and satisfied and just, feel good. That would also help restore your 3 of Swords energy into something just restful, replenishing, and healing energy. The handle, 9 of Cups. You are very much single as a Pringle, thriving, making your own money, and you are dreaming of something. This could be also be very small communication or just idealizing your singledom with the Page of Cups, which is a entry level small energy. So the Page of Cups doesn't know how to master their emotions. It's puppy love and it's crush, but it's also not necessarily drowning, but very much just splashing around in a kiddie pool of these emotions feel so good. This is gonna be that, this is gonna be this, and it's like exploring all those things without substantial, concrete either action or meaning, because we are just at the page level. A knight would be the idealistic, romantic, chasing love and being in love with love. The queen would be nurturing, giving, empathetic, and the king would be the one who is really has the most emotional maturity. But the page is just borderline, almost overwhelmed by the emotion, and the page doesn't know how to communicate properly, so it's gonna be a little bit of babbling about, but it's also allowing you to dream of potential commitment after a space of healing and being in your single and thriving and self-independent energy with the Nine of Pentacles. This is something that you can hold on to while you are single and providing for yourself. So while you are single and providing for yourself on all aspects, but especially financially, and making sure that you are taken care of by yourself on whatever needs you need to cover, stability, emotional, psychological, whatever, you are allowing yourself to dip toe with the Page of Cups into just appreciating this beautiful energy of testing the waters of love and emotionality, or how you explore these themes, how you allow these to affect you, to have like a ripple effect on you. So this is something you can hold on. It's like you are in the experimentation zone. And literally like, so this is my teacup that I use in the intro, and with the handle, which is where we are now, you can hold the whole teacup, what fills you, and then the tea itself, you can, I mean, you don't we underestimate simple things like the teacup's handle, which is so freaking useful. Of course, you can hold the teacup a la Japanese or more Asian style, but here in the Western world, we are very used to depend on this to not burn ourselves if the content of the teacup is burning and hot. You need a space to heal, to make a wish, to again go back to the Hermit, because there's a lot of people who say that on the original card of the Hermit, what's the light inside the lantern is literally the Star card, to help you see the light forward, to have that hope to ascend to reach to. And the Hermit, having captured a fragment of the star, it's like having harnessing the power of making a wish and having it be granted, because you have that magic within you if at your soul level you are ready to manifest and utilize the power of the star to heal, and by extent have your wish fulfillment, because now you are opening the door to receive more from the universe. The Rim. Be cautious of not going overboard. King of Wands, again, action, 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 fire, charisma, entrepreneur very much, and the Knight of Swords, very fast-paced, action-driven energy. The ring is be cautious of not going overboard, and now we have a double energy of fast-paced action. So be very much advised of not overutilizing your charisma and your action-driven energy in going almost blindly into new paths in this almost vain or childish attempt of escaping and going out of your heartbreak reclusive energy here with the Hermit and the Three of Swords at the base of your reading. You definitely don't want to just willy-nilly jump into action that you might regret later because you didn't think things through, because you are just going in for the sake of getting rid of a task on your to-do list. It would be wiser if you manage to direct that double swift, passionate energy into a concrete, methodical, strategizing plan in how to move forward to get what you want without hurting yourself and others in the process of your astute. That's the word that pops to mind. Like really hyper-focused on winning the game at all cost. I'll be right back. So with the King of Wands and the Knight of Swords, you want to, because like, okay, so Knight of Swords is very much air energy. Think of high winds energy. King of Wands is very much fire on fire energy. So if you mix high winds with fire, you got the destruction of a lot of things at hand. You want to use the maturity of the King of Wands to temper the wind somehow, some way, so that what you are dashing into, the words that you are using, your communication has a directional endpoint, end goal. It's not you just scattering your fire and your passion and your drive in all four winds. You want to have structure, goal, and a path on how you want to communicate and be action oriented, but with purpose and with intent and with goal. So let's see what we have here for this combination of not going overboard, which very easy for you guys. You want also to use your charisma, but not excessively. You want to use your words, your communication skills, but not in a brash and potentially hurtful way too. Eight of Wands, communication. And this will feel contradictory, as the Eight of Wands is yet again fast-paced communication, but we have the King, which is the highest ranking cards in those, so that you really need to hone in your King of Wands energy, have a plan, have a structure, lay down the foundations of how you want this communication to go forward, the direction, the intent, the end goal, and if you can dot the like major themes and then sub-level minor themes, so you are in the clear of how you communicate and how you proceed forward without going overboard and causing a whole mess of this situation. The teaspoon, stirring. What are we stirring, Aries? We are stirring love with the Knight of Cups, intent, deep, but you're also stressing out. So Have you made a gesture that has not been received or returned in in potentially hoped or expected way, and that is causing you a bit of stress? If you had not yet made said gesture, you are overthinking things and you are putting yourself in this Eight of Swords energy by just worrying about every little outcome possible of whatever this gesture is. You might be also overthinking and overanalyzing and just stressing out in your head because your idealization of love is turning out to bring you shitty results. We are going from a page to a knight, but it seems misdirected, or the youthful, innocent, childlike idealization of how emotions should be felt, lived, experienced, and returned to you feel a little now heavy and stressful because they are not in actuality how you imagine them in your mind. So you need to temper expectations and how others receive your intentions, your actions, and your gestures, because everybody has free will, and thus people will react in their own way to connections and emotions. You cannot predict or direct how people will receive your cup of love just because you idealize how the perfect scenario should go according to plan or according a certain way, a certain fashion. And you have a Queen of Cups, which now is a progression. Page, Knight, Queen. We have a steady progression in emotional maturity, in emotional handling of situations. With the Queen of Cups and the Eight of Swords, you can be very much too deep into your emotions, feeling too deeply, too intensely, too going back to this Three of Swords, you can crank it up to the max. But you can also, with the Queen of Cups, be gentle towards yourself, nurture yourself. Mix the Hermit and the Queen of Cups and dive deep into yourself, into your emotionality, how you feel things, how you respond to things, how things have an impact on you, and how you can, going forward, be a better communicator with the Knight of Swords, be a better strategist and more action-driven with the King of Wands, so that when things go south, you are not overburdened by stress and worry and more stress here. Ten of Wands, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords. You want to manage expectation, idealization, and romanticization of emotions and actions driven from emotionality, from love and offer, and imagining the best potential outcome of you mingling with other energies. And this can be a plethora of ways. This can be romantic, platonic, your siblings, your parents, your co-workers, your cousins, your friend, your chat group. I'm not limiting to whoever the other party, the respondent to this is, so that you can better use the finer brush stroke to define the story of your life. I'm just giving you the general main theme energies that I'm seeing on the table. And I think these were pretty much the messages for my Aries. I'm gonna dive into the, what's it called? Unspoken truth, and maybe we can shed more light onto this situation. And I will conclude with the deep dive oracle cards. So, something for my Aries to clarify this, and we already have one. Something else. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take the 3. Let's be generous for the new year. I really thought you'd always be there. So this goes back to your Three of Swords and the word, so somebody ended the connection. I keep stepping towards you only to pull away again. Well, I mean, this is a bit of self-accountability card. If you reach out with the Knight of Cups but then say something or go away in another direction with the Knight of Swords, of course you will end up in the same direction, because people will read you, he or she is interested, they are making the gesture and then they're moving away. So what's the dealio? And that will end up with the rift. Our connection is intense and it scares me. This is you being too much in your head with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. If it's scary, go analyze again what is scary. Why is the emotional depth to you so scary? Are you afraid of losing this person, of fucking up, messing up and causing a havoc? Or are you not emotionally ready to invest in a relationship because you value the idealization of what either social media or mainstream media is selling you as the ideal representation of a relationship? And because you are somehow, there's a blockage somewhere and you are not manifesting that in your real life, so you value being single, Nine of Pentacles, more than being attached and committed, because in those representations that are fed to you, everybody's on the same boat, everybody's like on the same page. It's streamlined, smooth sailing, it's just like no worries whatsoever. So you need to reflect on your own core nature, what you bring to the table, what you expect from your partner, and how you can harmonize expectations and reality. And I'm noticing we have the King of Wands twice, so you're definitely charismatic and in your power to take charge and lead the way, but you need to step out of the hurt, the pain, and the idealized, over romanticized view on love and relationships, so that you can embrace things for what they are. Even if they are too intense, don't be afraid of it, and just go there like trotting. I mean, is that the way the horse, when the horse goes like on a walking speed, like just like, you know, jogging-ish into it, without being too because I'm thinking of the Knight of Swords. You don't to like rush too intensely into it and burn the bridge right off the bat. You want to temper the energy that you give to relationships, so that you are more comfortable divulging a little bit of yourself, allowing the other to do the same, so that it's a slow building process and not so much just literally dashing into action and then burning stuff behind you. You want to go from a Knight of Swords to a Knight of Cups, a bit more slow, a bit more measured, a bit more paced, more intent, still passionate but meaningful, deep passion, not just below the belt oriented passion. So, final word for my Aries. Oh, that was neat. And we have self-awareness. I think this is basically what I yapped about for the last 5 minutes. Accept yourself as you are and embrace your true self, imperfections and all honest reflection. And so going back to what I was saying, if you can temper these sides of you, be more compassionate and accepting in your more vulnerable and loving and tender self and spaces, instead of just always being in charge, leading, and literally rushing and dashing into things with pure fire and drive. You will build more lasting connections, and the more you allow yourself a bit of patience and self-reflection with the Hermit, you will be less afraid of intense things coming your way, especially if the connection is intense and scaring you, which some can be like that. It's normal. It's just because it's a higher level, if you believe in this stuff, higher level commitment, your soul recognizes their soul, but in the 3D you have forgotten. So it comes off as scary because it's too deep and too intense, but it's just like falling in love with your kindergarten playmate that you haven't seen in 20 years, for example. You have completely forgotten that, but your heart and your subconscious remembers. That's why it's so intense and so scary, because you know, a part of you knows that person at a more intimate level beyond the 3D physical realm. So, Aries, this is gonna be it. Cheers! And I wish you a very happy new year in 2026, and I will see you in the next video. You know what, I'm still working out on my schedule, so I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Love you. Oh, yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, I am trying to grow my channel, so a little subby, a little like, a little comment, if it resonates, goes tremendously long way for new channels. I deeply appreciate your time with me, and yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will always deliver the most authentic, no bullshit channeled messages that come through me, because I'm literally just the radio station between you and up there. Ciao, ciao!